Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel enshuae for some new stories.
We all have a few bad memories and time wipes them all out. But does that happen every time? Might not. Maybe not. Let's hear the story of Sam from the perspective of a narrator. Mysterious stalking narrator. Under those tangerine lights falling on the pedestrian and on the road, thrown by tall street lights, I saw him walking every night, seemingly endlessly, with his hands in pocket and face facing the road. He walked contemplating and juggling through thoughts. He crossed me every time, but did not notice me ever. I knew him, but he seemed to be ignorant about me. Sam was a guy from the neighborhood living with his parents at 23 Pearson's home. Everybody knew him as a shy, reserved, or rather a scared guy, now in his 20s, facing life. He did not have a lot of friends, not even a lot of confidence. A boy who suffered bullying in school, home, and now in college too. But he never retaliated. He never retaliated to anything in life. Apparently weak and easily distressed. Panic-stricken, nobody remembered him in any other way. He had some barriers from always, separated by an appalling incident in the past, which scared him even more, made him more frightened than ever. He still fights them in his dreams and even his daylight thoughts, in his meetings with the surrounding and in the sympathy of the onlookers. He still roamed at night in this way, all dismayed, kicking a few stones in between the way. Life seemed directionless like his walks of the night. No one had hopes with him, even he did not keep one with him. Mental health, he never had it. But the dreams and aspirations had also deserted him, or he had forsaken them before and walked every night even more distant from them. He was not sane for others. His parents loved him and supported him. A few friends loved him too. Anyone else than these people looked him through the corner of their eyes. Many sympathized and a few beautiful others smiled and walked to him to know him a little. But he ran away. That was what his life was all about. He too ran away from these people, shy, awkward, underconfident, and secretly an artist of his world. Those beautiful lush gardens before the houses on both sides of the roads, I still gasp at them. And what attracted him was the rough road and the stones on them. People have choices. I used to smile at him. I still do. His choices. I gasp at it. He roamed the streets. Everyone knew. But what others did not, I can smirk on this. I was smarter than the rest. Anyway, I knew where he headed every night. This was his destination from a few months. I knew. Nobody else. Hey, who said I used to stalk? I was only curious. Just curious. Yeah, so I saw him that night too, turning right from the circle and knocking the third door of the street. Mrs. Smith opened the door, smiling at him. She requested him to be in. He also hesitatingly smiled back at her. He did this every day. Mrs. Smith was accustomed to his behavior now. She was going to say something, but Sam knew what he had to do, so he himself went to the drawing room and sat at the sofa and waited for Mrs. Smith to come back. He wished he would not be denied meeting her today, like yesterday. She was busy last night, but she promised to see him today. He hoped that Laura remembered her promise of meeting him today. She was taking more time than usual today. He nervously stood and leaned to see Mrs. Smith, but she was nowhere to be seen. He used to stare at the painting on the wall of the room. It was a big painting. Too big for the small room, too vibrant for the room, and too colorful for the people living there. He heard footsteps and hurriedly sat back on the sofa. Mrs. Smith arrived. She smiled, looking at Sam. She knew what he was doing. She smiled a bit more. Sam anxiously looked at her face. He gave a smile back. His eagerness heightened and he rose from the sofa. He also smiled quickly but was in dilemma. He was still waiting for a nod. Mrs. Smith noticed his eagerness and without extending the suspense, she nodded. "Come, Sam," she said. Sam gave a big smile of exhilaration to Mrs. Smith. She was delighted to see such a big smile on Sam's face. Both of them went through a lobby to a door which opened the stairs to the basement where all the action was happening. I knew what was there happening every day. They started moving down the stairs. Take care of the wire, Sam. You can fall. That was the sentence Mrs. Smith told Sam every day. And he tripped every day, pulling a few wires before tripping on a few more. And she watched him being scared of falling and supporting him at times. She looked at him sometimes with distress, sometimes with a little frustration, and sometimes with care. Sometimes, a mix of all. They finally reached to Laura. Laura looked up while fixing the screw. She looked first at Mrs. Smith and gave her a smile, which said that she understood what she is feeling. Mrs. Smith smirked at her, thanking her for her understanding. Then she turned at Sam. "How are you, Sam?" The warm smile comforted Sam. He said he's good, in a very soft voice. As he said, she started working again. The noise of her fingers striking the keyboard of the computer was filling the room.
He was saying that the work is almost done and it should be complete by today. Is it complete?
He asked after vacillating between keeping quiet and asking what he wished to know. Laura kept quiet. Mrs. Smith noticed Sam's growing anxiety and sadness with him being ignored. He asked, Is the work done? I think you did not hear." She emphasized politely. Laura understood what she was alluding to. "Oh yes, I'm sorry. I did not hear properly and the work is almost done. You will soon see it working. Just little more patience and this is done. I'm trying to fix minor glitches and we are done." Laura said with comforting enthusiasm. Mrs. Smith took a breath of relief after a big smile emanated from Sam's side. But those glitches are they minor or major? Are those going to create troubles? Sam curiously and worryingly asked. Mrs. Smith took control of the situation. Laura was busy working and she did not answer again. She did not hear. "Sam," she just said, "that those glitches are minor. They will be rectified by any time soon. We can sit quietly till then there, right?" Mrs. Smith consoled him with a smiling face. Unsatisfied and anxious, Sam sat down again, watching her work. Laura was a scientist. People had seen more new moons than her in the past few years. She remained confined in her home, working or moving out in her car to her office. That was all the people knew about her. She looked insane to people and she was friendly with Sam from always. Yeah, that was surprising. Out of every person that tried to know Sam, Sam only liked Laura and willingly joined her every time. Mrs. Smith saw Sam being edgy as he watched Laura destroying the ambience of the machine noises in the room with her fingers striking the keyboard of the computer. The anxiety in the room was increasing with every click of the computer, every beep of the machine and every changing position of Sam in his chair. I remembered well the time passing and nothing substantial happening. The clock ticked, tick, tock, toe, to apprise that it was half an hour to midnight. Sam's anxiety decimated. He became quiet. It was time for him to leave. Laura was still imbibed in her work. Mrs. Smith was noticing the disappointment in his eyes. But she was helpless. She could only escort him safely to the door of the house for him to leave for his work. It was dark at this time and also the roads were deserted completely. She asked Sam to wait for a few minutes. She went downstairs to the basement to ask Laura if she could drop Sam to his house. Mrs. Smith ran back with his keys and wished Sam had not departed. He was still standing there, sad. Mrs. Smith slowed down as she reached him. She picked the car and drove to his house to drop him. "Here, Sammy, go, your parents must be waiting for you," she said lovingly. Sam got down from the car. He stopped and asked,
"The work will be done, right?"
Yeah, indeed, the work will be done. Don't worry." She assured him that indeed it will be. Sam returned to his home. She watched him returning his house and she left for her house. Laura, he was disappointed. Laura was disgruntled with the gitch. She almost unheard what she was saying. I'm going to doze. This is futile. I'm going to sleep. I'm leaving this. I'm not doing this. She slammed the device on the table and left the basement for her room. Mrs. Smith saw her slamming tools so many times in these years since the commencement of this project. She knew she would wake up again tomorrow with a New Zealand attachment for her work, realizing how she had come far with the project and she could not abandon the process accrued hitherto from the rigorous investments of her time, hard work of those days and countless foregone sleeps. Mrs. Smith wished her night and went to her bedroom.
Please subscribe to our channel for more stories like these. Hit the like button, comment down below your views and thoughts. See you guys next Sunday. Till then, stay healthy, stay safe. We are enshuae. Do not forget the name.